Hi, I'm Rhonda Crimes. I'm a life and leadership coach supporting everyday people just like you to reflect and rework your everyday stories so you can step into the everyday leadership of your families and communities and create compelling, meaningful and fruitful lives every day. And today, let's talk about who made the rules. So, I was cooking dinner the other night, and I will confess this is one of many of my least favourite things to do. I have not been blessed with the 1950s good housewife gene, and would be very happy to make a huge pot of something and then just eat the same thing for days if it meant I didn't have to cook again. Now, don't get me wrong, I love food. I love eating tasty, wholesome, delicious explosions of flavour and texture. And I would prefer to eat something like that rather than the same thing every night. But I find the whole cooking every night thing a drag. And what I loathe most is when I have to stand by and keep an eye on things. So, there I was on Saturday night, standing over the frying pan, making sure I didn't burn the chicken satay sticks. And my adult son came inside to sit and chat with me. So I just casually unloaded. Yeah, you know it. I had a big whinge about how I hated cooking like this, how it was such a waste of my time, how I could be doing something else. In fact, I whined, I could be doing anything else than standing here babysitting chicken sticks. In my rant, I went on to say how it was just so much easier to do a roast. You just chuck the meat in the oven, set the timer and walk away. Come back when that goes off, throw the veggies in the oven, stab it with the thermometer thing, reset the timer, and voila, dinner is prepared while I've been off doing whatever else my heart desires. I have to say at this point, God, I love my boy. He just lets me go off while he sits there quietly listening. Yeah, I mean it. He actually does listen to me. There's usually a smile in his eyes, but they don't glaze over and he doesn't tune out. So when I finished, he says, well, why don't you just cook roasts then? What? I spun away from the frying pan, almost giving myself whiplash to stare at him. And he repeated, why don't you just cook roasts then? I know that's what you said, but I can't cook roasts every night, I expressed. Why not, he pressed. Because it's against the rules, I declared. And that was all it took to tip him over to actually laughing at me and asking, whose rules, Rondi? So you know those moments when you have all the answers in and they're spinning in your head and your mouth just seems to only be able to open and shut without the words coming out? Because even you know what you're about to say is ridiculous. So I just laughed back at him, shaking my head. Then I was turning my attention back to those pesky chicken sticks, which had caught on the bottom, bloody hell. And I pondered as I scraped them out of the pan. Who indeed set that rule? So after rescuing the chicken sticks, I talked my thoughts out with him further. Now I know you're all thinking, conversations are pretty deep in their house. But it stopped me. I suddenly became aware that this was another moment in life where our conditioning and modelling takes on a life of its own. A pattern repeating unconsciously. Its inception unknown, and the outcome a measure of success from a bygone time. So the answer to his question about who made the rule? Oh, that would be me. No one else. And it was based on the Sunday roasts of childhood. Once a week only, a huge and expensive treat, with the leftovers going on to feed us for a couple of days later. So somehow, somewhere in the deepest pits of my unconscious, I had perpetuated that it was wrong to have more than one roast a week. Oh, and here's my cat coming to visit. Now let me tell you, I took that limiting belief and put it under the spotlight and asked, how well does it serve me now? Yeah, it doesn't. So, I am going to have as many roasts as I want, as often as I want, and then have the leftovers to feed us for another couple of days. So this all happened really quickly, and by the time the meal had been dished up and the matter had been resolved, then Kobe says, you know, slow cooker meals can be set and forget too. I simply replied, yes mate, but they're for winter. To which he laughingly outright called on me on and said, who made that rule? I had to put my plate down. Shit, there is another one. Do you have any of these similarly ridiculous unconscious rules that seem to govern you? So I understand that some rules are in place to maintain order, optimise systems and procedures, and this is to maintain a degree of harmony and balance so we don't slide into anarchy and chaos. And like I have a rule that says I will eat a variety of nutritionally dense food. So, you know, like binging on peanut butter toast and salted chips every day would break that rule and cause my body to become inflamed and inefficient. I also know that some are also really helpful generalised rules designed to keep us safe, like look both ways before you cross the road, walk on the right side of the road so you can see cars coming towards you, don't test the iron with your hand to see if it's hot. You know, those ones. Very important, learnt at a young age, keep them. And then there are the rules that limit decision fatigue or make our lives simpler and less complicated, like former President Obama and Mark Zuckerberg basically wear the same outfit every day to cut down on making decisions. So for me, I have a limited colour range of clothing, so I'm confident almost any combination will work together. I do need a little more variety in this area than Barack and Mark, but same principle. Now, to be clear, I'm also not talking about laws that govern us in society at this point, although some of them do need an airing every now and then, just to make sure that they are valid, and that's why we have a judicial system. So, who is your judicial system? I invite you to just get curious when you have things going on and you don't like it. Ask yourself, 1, who made this rule? 2, does it still serve its purpose? 3, what are the consequences it was created for? And 4, if the answers come up short, what would be a better rule that you could choose to replace it with? So this is a little awkward. When I was editing, I realised that somehow the video had stopped recording. So now here I am, looking very different, and I'm just going to finish off because I don't have time to record the whole thing again. So please bear with me, and this is real life. So just to finish, I know that I may not have roasts every night going forward, but it's really liberating to know I can if I want to. Now, as for slow cooker meals in summer, I'll have to think that one over. But then actually, we are in autumn now. So if your now is not the picture that you've painted for yourself, and you'd like any help on this discovery path, or maybe something completely different that you intuitively know or feel isn't letting your true colours shine through, then please do get in touch with me. You can do it really easily. Just leave a comment, send me a private message, drop me an email, or click on my Calendly booking site and using the link that I've provided, and you can set up an obligation-free curiosity call and see if we're a good fit together. Much love until next time.